in 24 hours, leading to widespread flooding. These women had to be rescued from their inundated home and car.
I thought it was going to calm down. The rain kept coming. Not even 5 minutes, just rushing into the house. So I started, help, please help. I was crying.
There's the threat of more flash flooding today in areas of Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Mississippi.
The Justice Department says it will respond in court to Donald Trump's argument the department's out to diminish, quote, the leading voice in the Republican Party. White House correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
Sources confirmed to CBS News that in 15 boxes voluntarily handed over by the former president earlier this year, documents marked classified were discovered. Following the FBI seizure earlier this month, the New York Times says the total number of classified documents stored at Mar-a-Lago tops 300.
4 Democrats are vying for a shot at challenging Florida Governor Ron DeSantis in November. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns has details on contenders in today's primary.
There are 2 top Democrats fighting today to take him on. That's Agriculture Commissioner Nikki Fried and former Republican governor turned Democratic Congressman Charlie Crist. But DeSantis is beating them both in the polls.
In Russia, Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov calling for no mercy for the car bombing that killed the daughter of a close advisor to President Putin. Correspondent Deborah Pata has more.
A memorial service in Moscow for Daria Dugina, killed instantly when her car blew up on the outskirts of the capital. The Kremlin has blamed Ukraine for the hit, but Kyiv has vigorously denied any involvement.
The UN Security Council is holding an emergency meeting today on the situation at southern Ukraine's Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant. The Washington Post reporting Twitter's former head of security, Peter Zatko, has turned whistleblower. He's filed a complaint with the SEC accusing the company of misleading regulators about spam and It could give Elon Musk a boost in his fight to prove Twitter broke its contract to sell him the company. New research links a healthy heart with a healthy brain. CBS's Vicky Barker has details from London.
The British researchers found people who have healthy hearts in their 30s are far more likely to enter their 70s with bigger, healthier brains, indicating a far lower risk of developing dementia.
Dow futures down 43. This is CBS News.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn.
The Tribute to Summer concert series takes center stage at Saguenay Eagles Landing. See Back in Black rock the music of AC/DC on August 11th. Then, Terry Lee Goffey performs the world's greatest Johnny Cash experience on August 25th. All shows are outside in the parking lot on the south side of Worth Road and include $10 free play for adults. Saguenay Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Visit saguenay-eagleslanding.com for complete rules and details.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So agree with your search results. Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation. www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing all cylinders.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Sunny skies and 60 degrees at 9:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Birchup. The Fashion Square Mall in Saginaw Township is up for auction. Bidding started at noon yesterday at $2.3 million, with the top bid coming in at $6.3 million. The building went up for auction after New York-based Namdar Realty Group defaulted on a $34.8 million mortgage owned by Wells Fargo. The auction at 11 a.m. Less than half a mile downriver from Midland's iconic Tridge, a new pedestrian walkway will soon give visitors another way across the Tittabawassee River. Here's WSGW's Jonathan Dent.
The walkway will connect to a pavilion named for the late philanthropist Alan Ott, who passed away in 2020. All of this is part of a new wetland park project being undertaken by a partnership between the City of Midland and the Michigan Baseball Foundation, which will restore a vacant former industrial property on the south side of the river. David Raymaker, president of the Michigan Baseball Foundation, says that they hope the project has a positive impact on the community.
This is truly a record of creating a wetlands park out of an industrial blight. This changes the footprint for everybody coming into the city from Poseyville.
The project has a projected 2.5-year timeline, which Raymaker describes as aggressive, given the amount of work there is to do. The first phase involves removing tons of industrial rubble and putting in a man-made mound of earth to build on. Jonathan Dent, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
Saginaw Valley State University is receiving a funding boost to help support low-income, first-generation, or disabled students. Nearly $262,000 in federal funds will help those students complete their education and opportunities down the road. Officials say the grant can also grow the portfolio of programs and services for students from rural communities. WSGW News Time 9:07.
Feel like summer is flying by? Are you looking for entertaining family activities or to take a musical journey through the sounds of summer? The Saginaw Arts and Enrichment Commission and WSGW invite you to join in the fun as Saginaw celebrates summer. Presented by Hemlock Semiconductor. There's still plenty to see and do throughout Saginaw and the riverfront area. For a complete list of events and activities, visit artsaginaw.org. And for daily updates on all the excitement, keep listening to WSGW.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Daylight Outfitters. You are going to get 1 hour of axe throwing for a group of 4 or 1 hour of video archery for a group of 4 for only $40. It's usually $80, but you are getting it half off. Daylight Outfitters is for West Isabella Road in Midland. Axe throwing participants must be 10 and up. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
WSGW News Time 9:08. The weather forecast is next. We're about to see more EV charging stations in what are called underserved communities. In this case, it's communities that didn't have a lot of electric vehicles already. Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist says that people need to make sure they can change their vehicles. The announcement was made at a Volta charging station in Detroit. The company will put new chargers at Kroger's in Westland, Southgate, Roseville, and Lapeer. As Ford cuts 3,000 jobs, it's also on the search for workers in other areas. Autobeat reporter Jeff Gilbert has this report.
It's a balancing act at car companies. They need fewer and fewer people who can develop new engines and transmissions, and more and software.
Ford is still hiring. Everyone's hiring. Everyone's going after people who are expert in software, in EVs, and vehicle connectivity, all the future technologies.
Auto Trader analyst Michelle Krebs says the change in needed skills is not unique to Ford.
A bill has been introduced which would fully eliminate the fees and charges friends and families of incarcerated people pay to speak with their loved ones inside state prisons and county jails, potentially saving Michigan families tens of millions of dollars annually. In addition, eliminating the cost of phone calls would encourage families to stay engaged with their loved ones who are in jail or prison, which is proven to correlate to a higher likelihood of success when they return home and a lower chance of recidivism. Michigan families with incarcerated loved ones have historically paid some of the highest phone costs in the nation. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0910. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. Mostly sunny for today. Highs top out near 84 degrees. Winds northwest around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, cleared to partly cloudy. Lows drop to 61. Winds turn to the west-southwest, around 5 miles per hour. Wednesday, lots more sunshine, light winds. Highs approach 87. Wednesday night, cleared to partly cloudy. Lows fall back to 63. Winds will continue to be light. And then a chance for showers developing or building into the area by Thursday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Phil Jensko with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Right now it's 63.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Good morning and welcome to our Tuesday edition of the Art Lewis Show on WSGW from my Saginaw Spirit Home studio. Nice to have you with us. Later on, next hour, we're going to be talking to a gentleman by the name of Dan Radomski from the Centrepolis Accelerator. He's going to talk about clean tech companies. At 11 on Focus, we'll have a continuation of open phones. But for the beginning of this hour this morning, we're going to spend some time with Congressman Dan Kildee. And we say good morning to the Congressman. Good morning.
How are you?
Doing well. Hope you are too.
Thank you.
Before we get into some of the things that you've been involved in, I have to ask about one that's kind of hanging out there. There's been news stories that the student loan forgiveness is going to expire. That was part of the pandemic program. Do you see an effort to keep it alive, or is it just going to go away?
Well, there's a lot of discussion right now about what policy we ought to have in place. I'm open to finding ways to grant relief to those individuals who truly need it. My focus, honestly, Art, is less on the student loan issue, although I do think there's an argument that for the people who are really struggling, we ought to provide them additional relief. But my goal is to deal with the fundamental problem, and that is the cost of higher education, which is student debt. So I want to increase Pell grants, for example, so that fewer students have to actually take out debt in the first place. But I'm not sure that we have the financial capacity for, or it's the right policy choice to just wipe out all student debt, which is what some have been advocating for. My approach would be much more targeted.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. You know, we've spent a lot of money in the last couple of years, particularly with the pandemic. At what point does government have to stop spending?
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously an issue that we have to face. With our recent action, where not only did we improve some services, but we did so in a way that actually has the effect of reducing the deficit. The issue that you raised, though, about when government should and shouldn't spend is a really important issue. One of the ways I look at it, and we can't do this with everything, but when government spends, it's like any of us investing. It makes sense to spend when we know we're going to have a return on the investment. And that's why, like, for example,
Summer nights at Comerica Park are a Detroit tradition. And
Hang
here's
on,
a great
hang on a
way for you
minute.
to enjoy a Saturday night at a Tigers game. After beer night, presented by Atwater Brewing.
No idea why that
Tigers
happened.
Take on the Royals Saturday, September 3rd.
Hang on. We just let it. There we go. All right. I'm sorry for that. As you were saying, return on investment.
Yeah. So, like, for example, when we invest in infrastructure, we know it increases outputs. It increases productivity in this country. Better roads, better ports, better rail, access to broadband grows our economy that pays us back for the expenditure. Pell grants, increasing the number of people who are able to afford a college or post-secondary education of some increases the overall size of our economy and pays us back. So there are two variables. You put your finger on when should government spend, and how much. And there's a limit to what we can do, obviously, and we need to be much more, both Democrats and Republicans have to be much more clear-eyed about that. It's been a bipartisan problem. It's going to require a bipartisan solution. But what I don't want us to do is make decisions that look good, but actually are counterproductive, like not rebuilding our infrastructure, not spending that money, actually costs us more in the long term, and we don't want to make those choices.
All right, let's talk about some of these investments, because I know that you and Senator Stabenow and Secretary Vilsack have touted the new investments for mid-Michigan farmers and rural communities. Tell us about that and what we expect from it.
Yeah, so as part of our work, not only on the infrastructure bill, but on the this recent legislation that we passed on the Inflation Reduction Act, we invest in local farmers. We invest in the practices that many of them have engaged in to reduce pollution going into our lakes, rivers, and streams. That's one example. Like Secretary Vilsack pointed out, is that about 30% of farm fields in this country are significantly over-fertilized. And that obviously costs the farmer more money to have put more fertilizer, especially now when, because of the sourcing of fertilizer out of Eastern Europe, it's very expensive. And that fertilizer, those nutrients, get into our lakes, rivers, and ultimately into our Great Lakes, degrading that natural resource. It's the use of technology that has allowed growers across the country to target the use of fertilization on their farm fields. And this sounds like really boring and technical. It's really important, because what we're talking about is transferring that technology to our farmers, saving them money by reducing the cost of fertilizer on the fields that they're growing, and improving the quality of our waterways, preserving the Great Lakes, which not only preserves a way of life for all of us who are, I grew up madly in love with the Great Lakes, but it also prevents the degradation of our lakes, and the pollutants that go into the lakes are significantly reduced. That's just one example that Secretary. Now, this is an ag expert is talking about.
Now, does that money go to research institutions like Michigan State, or does it go to the farmers themselves?
Both. In fact, when we were, when Senator Stabenow and I were visiting with Secretary Vilsack, we were at the Michigan State University Research Facility, which is a fantastic asset for all of us. Some of it goes into continuing the research that is having the effect that I just described, providing that technology. Some of it will go directly to growers who are willing to make application, apply for help.
All right. Another issue that you have been involved in was the CHIP Act. And this one I've been saying for a long time, and maybe the pandemic finally taught us not to be so dependent on foreign suppliers. The CHIP Act and Science Act, how is that going to impact this? Will you see companies now start making their own chips like Ford and General Motors and others?
Yes, and in fact, we do see new startups, new construction of the facilities, so-called chip fabs, where they take the polysilicon and create these really delicate microchips right here in the United States. And you kind of put your finger on the problem, Art. We, over the decades, had become, as a society, addicted, I guess, to really cheap, foreign-produced elements of our supply chain. And chips, during the pandemic, showed us exactly how dangerous that is. Because it's, as much as it's an economic issue, it's also an issue of economic security and national security. Us being completely dependent on a foreign production capacity, when that foreign government may be an adversary to the United States, they can take us to our knees simply by shutting down access to something like a microchip, which is essential to almost everything that has a moving part in it anymore. For us here in mid-Michigan, we know the effect on autos. I mean, we can just see. You don't have to drive very far to see farm fields or, empty fields stacked with vehicles that can't be sold because they don't have. The reason that's the case is that we put ourselves in a position where we were dependent on foreign-produced microchips in order to move the products that we're manufacturing here. So this is part of what I hope is a longer-term strategy for us to bring back the manufacturing capacity to the United States, build an economy around our own workers and our own facilities. That doesn't mean we don't interact globally. It's clearly a global economy. But let's start with the idea that we're not going to just be the consumers in the global economy. We want to be producers. This is one really important way for us to use the tax advantages that companies are always trying to find, but do it in a way that doesn't just benefit the company or the stockholders, but actually benefits the workers and the economy of the United States. And that's what the CHIPS and Science Act will do.
Con, can you hang on a few minutes? I've got to take a break. We carry you for one more segment. Talking to Congressman Dan Kildee. We'll be back with him after these notes.
Summer nights at Comerica Park are a Detroit tradition. And here's a great way for you to enjoy a Saturday night at a Tigers game. Be here for Craft Beer Night, presented by Atwater Brewery, when the Tigers take on the Royals Saturday, September 3rd. Special ticket packages include a t-shirt and an Atwater beer. Don't miss out on a fun night at the ball game.
It's gone! On to center field!
Craft Beer Night is on Saturday, September 3rd. Just visit tigers.com/craftbeer for tickets.
This is it. Your last chance to win $5,000 a week forever from Publishers Clearinghouse. There are just days left to enter. Win $5,000 a week for your life. Then after that, someone you choose gets $5,000 a week for their life. But you must enter at PCH.com before it's too late. Leave a legacy for your loved ones. Hurry, time is running out. So enter now at PCH.com. $5,000 a week forever. Don't miss August 31st. Enter now at PCH.com. Entries due 8/29. No purchase necessary. Void or prohibited.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Macy's is lowering its expectations for this year. It is seeing signs pushing shoppers to spend less in department stores. Though spending on luggage for travel and gifts remains strong in recent months, shoppers are pulling back on buying casual and athleisure apparel. Macy's has been discounting to get rid of excess inventories. Though sales declined in the recent quarter, drop is smaller than forecast, and its earnings and revenue held up better than expected. J.M. Smuckers came in stronger than forecast, and it is raising expectations for the year. Smuckers says sales of at-home food purchases remain strong. Smuckers' business was impacted recently by a Jif peanut butter recall. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is building Do Good Village in Land O'Lakes, Florida. It's a first-of-its-kind community with over 100 homes for program recipients, a place where Gold Star families, families of fallen first responders, and catastrophically injured heroes can live together with neighbors who understand, a place where the children of these families will grow up together. Help America's greatest heroes and their families to heal together. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org.
Since 1972, the Michigan Lottery has contributed over $26 billion to public education. The Michigan Lottery, for fun, for schools, for 50 years.
This is a test. WSGW is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. This is a test of the emergency alert system on WSGW. Equipment that can quickly warn you during emergencies is being tested. WSGW serves Saginaw, Bay, and Midland counties, along with the surrounding area. This concludes this test of the on WSGW.
Ground ball up the middle and into center field off the bat of Victor Reyes. Candelario being waved around third, and he will score. Tigers take a 4-3 lead on the Reyes. 2-out single here in the fifth.
The Tigers play 6:50 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
We're back with you on the Art Lewis Show, talking to Congressman Dan Kildee. I want to, before we get to crime and crime reduction, I want to talk a little bit. I just want to follow up on the CHIPS Act. We've come to terms with the fact that we can't be dependent on other countries for microchip production. Can we do the same thing in drug manufacturing? Didn't we learn during the pandemic that we were beholden to China for some components for medicine?
Yes. Honestly, Art, the CHIPS piece is just the tip of an iceberg. We are so overly dependent on foreign production of critical supply chain elements, whether it's pharmaceuticals or something as simple as personal protective equipment. Remember that?
Yep.
Masks, gowns. We're waiting for deliveries from China, and we own production capacity here. And this is a problem that has evolved over the last probably 40 years. And so I'm of the view we need to make things in America. If we're going to make it in America, we got to make it in America. And it's something that is really central to the work that I've been pushing for. It's not just large scale manufacturing; it's actually some of the small supply chain producers as well. So, 100% agree.
All right, let's move on, because there was another news release about federal funding to help reduce crime. I know quite a bit of it went to Genesee County. We're sitting up here in the Great Lakes Bay region wondering, will it help us up here in Saginaw Bay, Midland?
Yes, in fact, just this year, I've been able to get into the proposed federal budget, which will be enacted sometime this fall, direct support for many of the police agencies. Virtually anyone that applied will be able to get some new resources. What we did is we organized a budget line item through the Michigan State Police to distribute new equipment, greater capacity to the police agencies throughout mid-Michigan. And this, because one of the things that I really find objectionable and frankly irritating is that some people in my own party, who I disagree with vehemently, have adopted a sort of anti-police mentality.
Yep.
I think it's ridiculous. We need to support police. That doesn't mean they don't need better training. We should train them. We should support them. And where there are bad apples, we need to weed them out and deal with them harshly. But the way to solve the problem is to not defund them. The way to solve the problem is to get them the resources they need to do their jobs. And that's why we're so anxious to get this support for local police agencies in the federal budget.
Yeah, and it's interesting because there are some on your side of the aisle that want to do just that, defund the police. And we've seen it in certain communities across the country where lawlessness has risen to the top because of loose policies.
It's just one of the dumbest ideas I've ever heard in all the years I've been in politics, the idea of defunding the police. And the thing that's particularly concerning to me about it is that some of the people in my party say these things as if they are speaking for minority communities. The minority want to see more and better, more effective police, not less. And that's what I'm going to continue to push for.
All right, I want to finish up talking about the Inflation Reduction Act. I have to be honest, I'm not sure that's properly named because a number of analyses of it don't think it's going to do much to reduce. It will in certain areas. One you're most proud of course, is the $35 cap on insulin. But as an overview of it, how much will you really believe this is going to react to inflation and cause a reduction?
Well, if you're a person who pays out of pocket for prescription drugs, it's going to save you money at the prescription counter. And that's an out-of-pocket expense that makes a big difference. And so this, it all gets very political, all right, but the truth of the matter is you look at the legislation, it reduces the cost of prescription drugs. It caps, I wrote the legislation to cap insulin prices at $35 out of pocket a month. But the other thing it does, finally, at long last, allows Medicare to negotiate for the cost of the drugs that we purchase for Medicare recipients. So the real question is, can we reduce the out-of-pocket costs for Americans? And that's what a lot of this is focused on. And of course, that will save them money. And frankly, that's reducing their costs, and that takes a bite out of inflation.
Why, just out of curiosity, the piece of the legislation that allows Medicare to negotiate drug prices, why was it so limiting in the beginning? Why only 10 drugs and then 15 drugs? Why tier it that way?
Well, I preferred to go bigger. We had very little support, frankly, on the other side of the aisle, and I don't mean to be political about it, but it's just the reality. We got really thin margins. And so I would have preferred us to be more robust. But one thing to make clear, though, is those 10 expensive drugs, that's a big chunk of the out-of-pocket costs that people pay for prescription drugs. But it's 10 in the first year, and then it's 15 the next year, 15 the following year, to the point that we are negotiating on 100 drugs. Most of the drugs that are in commerce, generics, really won't even require us to negotiate the price. If you take thyroid replacement, for example, it's a few bucks for 30 pills. So this really does get at the heart of the problem. The most expensive drugs that have the protections right now, where the pharmaceutical companies have the law on their side, they can just dictate the price to us. We're saying no more of that. We're the biggest consumer. We're going to purchase from you, but we're going to sit down across the table and we're going to negotiate the price just like everybody else does. And so those 10 drugs, it's not just a small fraction. It's a big chunk of it, because that's where a lot of the costs that consumers bear are found.
All right, last question revolving around this act. It's called the Inflation Reduction Act. And yes, there are components which will help, particularly those that take the expensive drugs and insulin. But when you name something, the Inflation Reduction Act, and Mrs. Housewife or Mr. goes into the store and still finds their eggs exorbitant, finds all the other food products exorbitant, and everything else high, they hear the word inflation reduction, they expect to see something, and they're not going to see it. Is it a misnamed act?
No, okay. People have their whole monthly budget to look at. We're going to reduce costs where we can, but the federal government can't go to a store and say, we're going to demand that you reduce your prices.
Right.
That's not the way our economy works. But where we can have an impact on out-of-pocket costs, which will take a bite out of inflation, we will. And that's what we're doing. We can affect somebody's out-of-pocket costs. We're going to do what we can. And then hope that the economy obviously will follow that lead. And, it takes time. But there's no magic legislation that by the snap of a finger will reduce costs of everything, but we can do what we can do, and that's what the bill's focused on.
Well, Congressman, thanks for spending a little time with us this morning, and we'll do it again down
Thank
the
you,
road.
Art.
As always.
Always good to talk to you. Thanks.
Thanks. Have a good day. Bye-bye now.
You bet.
Congressman Dan Kildee, we thank you for spending a little time with us this morning, and we thank you for joining us too. Let me take a moment to talk to you about my friends at the Thalen Auto Group in Bay City, and in particular, Thalen Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Bay City. Because if you're thinking of buying a new one of those models, you might owe it to yourself to go online to thinkthalen.com and take a look at what they have in stock and what they have coming, because you can complete 80% of the purchase online these days. You have to go in and sign the paperwork, pick up the vehicle, but 80% of it can be done online. You can even build your own vehicle. Thalen has new vehicles arriving all the time, and if one of them is right for you, make sure your name gets on it. Also, if you're looking to move up to a newer pre-owned car or truck, the Thalen Auto Group on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City has pre-owned and inspected vehicles from all of the Thalen dealerships side by side, all in one place, offering you one of the largest inventories in the Great Lakes Bay region. And you can find the car of your dreams, sit down with a Thalen representative, make the deal, and drive it home today. Remember, the Thalen family has been serving your automotive needs for 45 years. Stop in or visit them online at thinkthalen.com.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your... It doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
How do you make the most of your land? Shaw does it behind the wheel of the John Deere 1025R compact tractor.
Shaw stands for skilled hands at work.
And he lives up to the name as he uses his versatile tractor to make
the earth take the shape that I wanted to take.
And the Allens fire up their John Deere 3032E compact.
9 acres of flowers.
Because the beauty of having land is deciding how to make it yours. There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. Learn how to make the most of yours at Deere.com. Nothing runs like a Deere.
At Easycater, food for work is our thing. It's literally all we've done for 15 years. Whether you need to feed a meeting or the whole company, we're here to make sure the food is professionally delivered, on time, as ordered, and all within your budget. No wonder we get orders from 93% of Fortune 500 companies. Food for work is what we do, and no one knows it better. Order 24/7 from over 95,000 restaurants on Easycater.com. Food for work. That's our thing. Hey, Jim. Thanks for coming.
Are you kidding? I never miss one of your dinner parties. How's the new job?
Somehow we're doing great. And I stopped working weekends, thanks to how smooth everything runs on NetSuite by Oracle.
Fantastic. We're still using QuickBooks.
Why haven't you upgraded to NetSuite?
We're making QuickBooks work, sort of.
Shh, watch your language. The kids are right there. Sorry, Amy. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more. NetSuite is everything you need to grow, all in one place. And 93% of surveyed businesses increase their visibility and control since NetSuite.
Yeah, sounds like it's time for me to switch to NetSuite. Over 31,000 businesses already use NetSuite. And for a limited time, NetSuite has extended their one-of-a-kind financing program offer to those ready to upgrade at netsuite.com/radar. Head to netsuite.com/radar for this extended special financing offer on the #1 financial system for growing businesses. netsuite.com/radar.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Summer is here, the perfect time to save some money. Why would you pay full price when you know that you can save at RocketGrabPlus.com? You can check out all of our deals going on right now from Tri-City Motor Speedway, One Up Games and Repairs in Munger, Norrie's of Auburn, Daylight Outfitters, and more. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show,
a majority of economists now say, yep, we're in a recession. Just buy an electric car.
There you go.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW. Broadcasting from the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios. This is WSGW.
And we're back with you here on WSGW. I mentioned to Congressman Kildee about the student loan expiration date of August 31st, when the current, if you will, hiatus on those payments is set to expire. According to Secretary Miguel Cardona of the Education Department, they've been talking about it, and the president said he's at the stage of looking at it. Some folks, I think CNN reported on Monday, that White House officials were considering and leaning toward a decision to cancel up to $10,000 in student loan debt for individuals who earn less than $125,000 a year. There's a lot of Democrats been calling for the government to forgive up to $50,000 in student loans. And you heard the congressman, a Democrat, say that he didn't think that you can do total forgiveness. That's not what it should be. It should be forgiveness to those who are in need and need the help, but not a big blanket forgiveness that some are asking for in his own party, which he admitted, where some are looking to forgive $50,000. Some of them, like Bernie Sanders, he'd wipe it all out. And he'd also make college free. I don't understand how he can do that. I've never understood his math, let's put it that way, or Elizabeth Warren's. I mean, they want to give away the farm and they have no idea how to pay for it. Oh, yes, tax the rich. We've heard that. You could take every nickel that the rich in this country, once you define who's rich, you could take every nickel they have, leave them with zero, and you wouldn't be able to pay for a small piece of what Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren want to do to this country. That's a joke. It's an absolute joke. And, the other thing that bugs me all the time when we hear about these things is, well, they have to pay their fair share. Have you ever heard a single politician tell you what the fair share is? Give me a number. What's fair? There's already been studies that show a very small percentage of the very, very wealthy in this country pay for 80% of the government. How much more do they have to pay for? I mean, when half the population of this country qualifies to practically pay no tax, maybe we ought to look at that so that the fair share is spread around a little more evenly. But nope, that's all you ever hear. We'll tax the rich, and we'll tax those big corporations. And I understand the vision, the image of these multi-billion-dollar corporations not paying taxes. I do understand that. But also understand that when you tax these corporations, you are taxing yourself. You pay their tax. They don't pay their tax. They don't have any money unless you give it to them. Or their suppliers give it to them. Or their clients give it to them, who you then buy services from. It all comes back to our pockets, unless they crank up the printing press in Washington, and then it still comes back to our pockets through inflation. So anytime you hear this notion of, we got to tax these corporations, just think how much it's going to cost you. The president said he wasn't going to tax anyone making under $400,000 a year. Well, guess what? You may not call it a tax. He may not look at it that way, but it is a tax, because in my world, anything that comes out of my pocket and ends up in the government's pocket is a tax, whether it goes through a corporation, a business, a service provider, it doesn't matter. One way or another, that dollar ends up in the government coffers. That's a tax. So this notion of, free this, free that. There is no free lunch. We all pay for it. Lines open for you, 989-752-6111, whatever's on your mind.
Hi, this is Evelyn McGovern, the president of Women of Colors. Last year, Women of Colors was awarded a one-year grant from the Michigan Endowment Fund to determine why 20% of African Americans do not receive follow-up care in behavioral health care services compared to other populations in Saginaw County. Well, Women of Colors is excited to report the is on August 25th at 5:30 p.m. at them. We are asking community members, service providers, and the participants of this project in this community effort. You would be astounded of the findings, featuring motivational speaker Albert Gay, all the way from Gary, Indiana, discussing the importance of equity and inclusion, sponsored by the Michigan Endowment Fund.
Sire, I just graduated first in my class at stonemasonry school.
I know, that's why we hired you.
Yeah, cool. But I was wondering why all I've been doing is sweeping the floors and providing slop for the hogs.
Well, how else do you think you learned to stonemason?
By stonemasoning, maybe?
How does that make any sense?
Throughout history, people have always been undervalued at work. That's why Monster lets you search salary by major. Find your job at monster.com or download the app.
Moments like watching my grandson steal second mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
WSW online poll is about the new political party. Former Democratic and Republican Party members who plan to form the initially co-led by former Democratic presidential candidate Andrew Yang and Christine Todd Whitman, the former Republican governor of New Jersey. The Forward Party says it's going to aim to appeal to millions of voters who say they are dismayed with what they see as America's dysfunctional two-party system. The party describes itself as centrist, stating that it's not left, it's not right, it's forward.
The Forward Party is about that common sense consensus majority view.
So our poll question to you is this: what's your early reaction to the formation of a new political party? Would you say this, that you identify as Republican, but you might support Forward? You identify as Democrat, you might support Forward. Maybe you don't identify either Republican or Democrat, but you still might support Forward, or you don't think you're going to support Forward at all. Head to WSW.com, scroll down the homepage, find way. We'll find out if Forward will be able to move forward.
The Morning Team, weekdays 5:30 till 9 on WSGW.
All right, let's go to our phones on the Art Lewis Show. Joyce is in Bay City. Joyce, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. And well, first of all, I want to say thanks to Mr. Kildee for the fight he did with the drugs, because I'm one of those diabetics that pay $1,200 a month, but hopefully no more.
I think in 2020, I think next year is when it kicks in, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not positive.
Hey, I'm still alive and kicking, so it's going to still affect me, so that's good. But I called about the student loan business. I don't understand these people. I have a coworker that's about 30-some years old. He's got a motorcycle. He's thinking of upgrading to another motorcycle. He has a home. He has the biggest and best electronics that money can buy. Like, he's always talking about spending thousands of dollars for these large screens and this up-to-date software and all this stuff. And he can't pay his student loans.
Yeah, that's the problem.
He's talking because he wants the government to pay off some $1,000 student loans.
This is a problem.
I worked 3 jobs to pay mine off.
Yep.
And yet this guy, we both work in the automotive industry, and you can't tell me he can't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I think. I think the government needs to go according to need, not according. I mean, they should have been looking at this guy and saying, well, you can afford this. Pay it
Absolutely.
off.
Absolutely.
You know, he borrowed $20,000 from his grandparents. He paid them off, but he can't pay the federal government off.
Yeah.
I just want to sometimes wring his neck and say, how stupid can you be?
I can picture it.
You know,
I just it's one of those things government does, and they create an expectation, and then they can't live up to it. You know, and
then
guys like
I don't
Bernie.
understand why.
Guys like Bernie Sanders started this ball rolling when he said, "Oh, we're all free college, free this," and everybody said, "Oh, I'll just wait then because they'll have free everything." Well, that's not going to happen.
I mean, I went to school on a Pell Grant, but that didn't cover everything.
No,
I mean, you had to take up some money somewhere.
Right, but you did what you had to do.
Right, I worked 3 jobs and practically killed. And I had just gotten married, so I hadn't seen my husband in 6 months.
Yeah, I think the bigger issue.
6 months we were married.
Bigger issue is the cost of a college education. I was talking to somebody the other day. I talked to somebody the other day about this career field, broadcasting, the one I'm in. They told me today, at a 4-year institution, the average cost to get a broadcasting degree is probably in the neighborhood of $100,000. I went, you got to be kidding me. They're never going to be, because when you get in this business in the early stages, and you know the very early stages of your career, you're not going to make nearly enough money to pay that back. Not even close.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Somehow we
how
have
long
to.
Does it take to recoup?
Yeah. Oh, just the return on investment wouldn't be that great if you were an investor. I don't understand the logic, and you know, these universities are they're sort of like hospitals. You know, you never see hospitals advertise, "Come stay with us because we're $10 cheaper than the guy down the road." It's "Come stay with us because we get all the bells and whistles." And when it comes to my health, I want them to have all the bells and whistles, so I'm guilty. You know. And colleges and a little bit are like that. You know, they have to have the best professors. They have to have the best equipment. And I don't begrudge them that, because that's the way you teach. You have to teach. You have to have good educators. You have to have the latest technology. But somewhere along the line, we have to be able to rein in the costs of a college education. And far be it from me to know how to do it.
Right. And some of the colleges require you to stay on campus, living in the dorms, which if you live down the street, why do you have to live in the dorm? Why can't you get an exception and live in your house?
Yeah. It depends on the school.
It's really stupid.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, Joyce, listen, I appreciate the call, and good luck with your insulin.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye now. Let's talk to Susan in Bay City. Susan, good morning.
Good morning, Art.
Good morning.
Thanks for having. Good morning.
Yep. Go ahead.
Thanks for having Representative Kildee on. Sounds like a nice common sense man. The only thing is he's going to get painted with a brush for his party. When he was talking about, there was a lot of people, a lot of representatives in his party that wanted to defund the police. And of course, he doesn't go along with that, which is good, but he will. And I watch the political ads at night, just like everybody else does.
You can't help it.
You know, yeah, you can't help it, exactly. And the Democrats always have, they're going to fix our roads. Well, we do have construction this year, but I think that it's way down from what it usually is. And our roads are just, I'm talking even US 10 is just atrocious.
Actually, Susan, the construction funds and the amount of construction is up this year. We just don't see it in our area because they've done a lot in this area. And yeah, there are places you can point to where the roads need work. But to repair a road like, let's say, US 10, where you want to replace a section of that road, that's a 5-year project. There's 2 or 3 years just in putting together the design phase and the materials phase and all of that before you even let the contract. It doesn't happen overnight.
we just had a local Democrat running. Matter of fact, they're running against Jim Beeson, and he was saying that he's going to have to spend $200,000 on a big asphalt machine and run it 24/7, and he's going to fix our roads. Well,
right.
That was my
Where's he going to get the 200,000? Is it his or ours?
Well, no, but that was my argument. Was you just can't run an asphalt machine.
That's
The
right.
road has to be tore up. You need all the people. If you're going to run it 24/7, you got to have an army of people to be doing this. So,
well, that's,
when they come up with these simple solutions on how they're going to fix something, you need to look a little deeper because
government is never simple. Government is never simple.
No. But
all right.
Anyway, and it was nice to have him on there. And I wanted to say too that Trump did have a policy going on caps on drugs. I mean, that wasn't strictly the
right.
Democrat.
Yeah, but now it's in law.
Trump policy.
So. All right.
Yep. Okay.
Good enough, Susan. Thanks. Bye-bye. And last caller this hour, Russ in Bay City. Russ, good morning. Russ, you there?
Hello. Yes.
Yeah.
Good morning, Art.
Morning.
I wonder where, this person gets the nerve. He says, I'm for reducing inflation. Yet he voted in favor of $700 billion more in government spending, which will increase inflation.
Yeah.
He said, it's ridiculous. I'm so sick of being lied to by these people. And he doesn't even have the decent guts to take calls from his constituents.
Well, that's a time thing. We didn't have enough time for that.
It's always a time thing.
Well, that's right, because that's all the time he has. It is a time thing.
We have to accept it. Someone like Dan Kildee has no time for us.
All right.
Sorry.
Well, now come on, Russ.
That's what you're saying.
No,
you don't have any time for us.
No.
You can have time for someone that to go to cocktail parties and go to this and go to that.
All right. Now you're getting. Yeah. Okay.
But he can't take no calls from us.
All right. That's fine. This is a radio program. It's not sitting in your house. We have constraints, and we have, to get somebody on. If they only have 10 minutes, they only have 10 minutes, whether you like it or you don't like it.
On that wants to promote a business, they've got no problem taking some questions from potential customers. Those people have all the time in the world because they want to sell something, and they've got something to sell.
All right.
And I don't know. I would love it if our politicians.
You got 5 seconds.
Take questions from us.
All right. I'll put that in the hopper. Thank you. We will take a quick time out here and be back to close out this hour. A 401k can be an important asset for many American retirements. You've made contributions to your 401k every single paycheck for years and even decades. Its tax advantages and portability may enable workers to build sizable and important nest eggs, but its flexibility can also be costly if you aren't aware of potential mistakes. Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a guide that'll teach you how to avoid an IRS early distribution penalty and full taxation on rollovers, the little-known weapon you can use, your most mistake-proof option, and more. Request your guide today at 989-835-7203 or visit them at GreatLakesInvestmentAdvisors.com. This commercial shall in no way be construed as solicitation to sell securities or advisory services of any state other than Michigan or were otherwise permitted. Topic should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Advisory services offered through Great Lakes Investment Advisors, a registered investment advisor in the state of Michigan.
When a life-saving drug like insulin costs just a few dollars to make, it shouldn't cost you $1,000 to buy it over the counter. This is Congressman Dan Kildee. I introduced the Affordable Insulin Act to cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month, and I took on Big Pharma to get that bill passed in the House. In Congress, I'll keep working to lower all prescription drug costs to save you money.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Uma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Uma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Uma?
Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Uma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Uma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
And that'll do it for this first hour of the Art Lewis Show. We will be back with more after the news from CBS and the local report All ahead here on WSGW.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez in New York. Former President Trump's lawyers are asking a judge to appoint a third party to review documents seized at Mar-a-Lago before Justice Department officials can go over them. White House correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
Trump's legal team is now trying to stop the FBI's review of it's covered by executive privilege. Many legal experts say that's a specious claim likely to fail.
CBS News legal contributor Keir Dougal says it may be too late.
We're now 2 weeks in. Presumably the government's been looking at these documents for the entire time.
Two lawmakers from the same party are pitted against each other in today's primary in New York. CBS's Scott McFarland.
After a messy and lengthy fight over redistricting here in New York, two powerful veteran U.S. House Democrats, Judiciary Chair Jerry Nadler and Oversight Chair Carolyn Maloney, must run. In Florida, Democrats choose their nominees to run against Governor Ron DeSantis and Senator Marco Rubio.
In Texas, people like Alan Thompson in eastern Dallas are taking in the breadth of the damage from the nearly foot of rain that fell in just 24 hours.
I've been here 13 years, and this is by far the worst it's ever flooded.
CBS meteorologist David Parkinson says the system is moving east now.
It's portions of northern Louisiana and western Mississippi that are likely to be seeing the most heavy and flooding rain.
Investigators in Georgia are looking for a motive in what they say was a targeted shooting spree that forced a lockdown in Atlanta. Correspondent Jim Pursull.
Trying to figure out why a woman fatally shot two people and wounded a third at two different locations in Atlanta's Midtown area. The shooting spree started at a condo complex.
I've been in this building for 18 years. Definitely the worst day ever for this building.
Police say an extensive camera network helped them locate the suspect at the airport. A new poll from the University of Chicago and the AP finds 71% of Americans believe gun laws should be stricter. That includes about half of Republicans, the vast majority of Democrats, and a majority of people who live in gun-owning households. In the midst of an opioid crisis, one state will not be setting up sites for drug users.
California Governor Gavin Newsom has vetoed a bill that would have allowed opioid users in L.A., San Francisco, and Oakland to legally inject drugs at supervised sites. He says it would have brought a world of unintended consequences. Supporters said the bill would have prevented drug overdoses.
Dow down 22. This is CBS News.
If you need to hire, you need Indeed. Their end-to-end hiring system helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Welcome to the Michigan Lottery Show, the fun and excitement.
50 years ago, a jackpot started growing. Inspired by fun and prizes for players, this jackpot has helped local businesses.
Winning lottery ticket was sold at the family market.
And led to over $26 billion in support for Michigan public schools. Today, the jackpot is still growing, and the goodness it's spreading is a win for everyone. The Michigan Lottery. For fun, for schools, for 50 years. Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
We expect our information in real time. U.S. Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. U.S. Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurance. Call 800-730-8405 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check. As easy as, that's 800-730-8405.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible sale prices from General Steel. That's right, start saving money every month on renting space from us. 725 Steel. General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 877-25 Steel.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 877-25 Steel now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, 60-foot building, or a 50 by 100 clear span building fast and easy. Call 877-25 Steel. That's 877-257-8335. 877-25 Steel.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Sunny skies and 66 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Perchup. U.S. Congressman Dan Kildee will hold a telephone town hall tonight at 6 o'clock. Kildee will discuss his work to pass paying Michigan manufacturing jobs and fix supply chain issues, as well as reduce crime and support local law enforcement. He'll be joined by Hemlock Semiconductor Senior Vice President Brooke Beattie and Ron Wiles, former president of the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police. The meeting is open to the public. Anyone who wants to attend can call 855-756-7520, extension 85186. With an uptick in thefts from vehicles, authorities are reminding residents to close their windows and lock their car doors before leaving vehicles unattended. Additionally, the Frankenmuth residents not leave valuables behind and lock any bagged items in the trunk where they'll be out of sight. U.S. Senator Gary Peters will be launching his annual motorcycle tour across Michigan next week. He'll be highlighting progress for Michiganders on a variety of issues, including expanding domestic manufacturing, veterans' access to health care benefits, shoreline erosion, and rising water levels, among others. Peters will be making stops in Hemlock, Muskegon, Traverse City, Munising, and the Lansing area. He'll start the tour in Muskegon Monday and conclude Wednesday, August 31st. During the tour, Peters will ride with veterans, motorcycle safety advocates, workers, and constituents. The trip will total about 1,000 miles. WSGW News Time, 10:08. 7.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural. Grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
RocketGrabPlus.com. Summer is here, the perfect time to save some money. Why would you pay full price when you know that you can save at RocketGrabPlus.com? You can check out all of our deals going on right now from Tri-City Motor Speedway, One Up Games and Repairs, JB's Market in Munger, Norrie's of Auburn, Daylight Outfitters, and more. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. A Lansing couple will go to trial on multiple felony charges after embezzling from a local car dealership. A judge found there is enough probable cause to send charges against Amanda Root and Justin Root to Ingham County Circuit Court. Amanda Root was employed at Glen Beige in Lansing in accounts receivable and accounts payable. The Department of Attorney General alleges Root embezzled more than $400,000 from the leadership between 2016 and 2019 and primarily used the money to gamble with her husband. Neither Root or her husband claimed the additional income on their taxes. The Michigan Department of Treasury and State Police both collaborated with the Attorney General's office in the investigation. A new study shows more people than ever in the United States are using marijuana. Michigan News Network's Sandra McNeil has this.
And it's not just marijuana use that hit an all-time high last year. So did the use of hallucinogens, according to the new study supported by the National Institutes of Health. Drug use soared among particularly those between 19 and 30 compared to a decade ago. 43% said they used cannabis over the past year compared to 29% 10 years ago. 8% had dabbled in things like Molly, compared to just 3% in 2011. Alcohol, still the most used substance among adults in the study, and although daily drinking has been decreasing over the past decade, binge drinking rebounded last year.
The Michigan State Housing Development Authority Board has approved a plan to use more than $63 million in funds allocated by the federal government through the American Rescue Plan to provide homelessness assistance and supportive services to at-risk individuals and families across the state. The Home ARP allocation plan will use the funds to develop affordable rental housing, offer financial assistance to qualified renters, and prevent evictions, provide support to local homeless service agencies, and acquire or rehabilitate existing structures for non-congregate sheltering. WSGW News Time, 10:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. For today, with a high in the mid-80s, winds out of the northwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour. High conditions a low near 61. Wednesday, sunshine, high of 87 degrees. Then by Thursday, a chance for showers and thunderstorms here late. Partial sunshine develops a high around 84. Friday, mostly sunny skies, high of 79 degrees. Then by Saturday, plenty of blue skies and sunshine and a high of 82. Sunday, partial sunshine develops a high of 88 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast.
Currently, it's 67.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, the Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And a good morning again. Welcome to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show from my Second on Spirit Home studio. Nice to have you with us on this Tuesday. Later on, open phones. But first part of this hour, we're going to spend talking to someone about the climate bill and clean tech companies. And that individual is Riley Leonard. He is the program and market administrator for something called Centrepolis Accelerator. We're going to find out about that this morning. Good morning, Riley.
Hey, how are you? How are you doing?
We're doing well, thanks. I think we need to start with what is Centrepolis Accelerator and where is it?
Yeah, so Centropolis Accelerator is based in Southfield, Michigan. We're housed actually right on Lawrence Technological. We're a smart zone incubator that specifically works with startups and established small businesses who are developing physical products or hardware products here in the state of Michigan.
Aha. Well, that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. The topic that I was told about has to do with the climate bill or that portion of the Inflation Reduction Act that deals with climate. And what it means for clean tech companies. So let's start there. Let's explain what that means.
Yeah. So what it means for businesses specifically, businesses that are developing these, as they stand to grow, they're going to become more affordable through the incentives and the tax credits. Obviously, with that, with incentivizing the public to purchase some of these products and these technologies, they're going to see a wide variety of adoption. They're going to see their sales increase, which ultimately is also going to lead to more job creation for those companies as well. There's also going to be incentives for the cost production to stay low. There's going to be lots of grants and loans that are going to be available for these companies to take advantage of, specifically on production operations. So put it in simple terms, there's a scale.
So
specifically here in Michigan.
So Riley, define for me a clean tech company.
Yeah, so I mean that varies, right? I mean, companies that we typically work with, we see companies that are working on battery technologies, working in solar, working in mobility. By mobility, we mean, electrified transportation, right? So vehicle chargers, electric vehicles themselves. We have people that are working on clean tech applications in marine industry, right? So you believe it. Obviously, the marine industry is one of the largest polluters in the world. So trying to, reduce carbon emissions and greenhouse gases through that is huge. And then, of course, anything that's related to building efficiency technology. So,
yeah. Are all the companies you work with small incubator type companies, or do you work with some of the big boys too?
So our portfolio client companies are maybe a little bit smaller. Well, so yes, we do work with startups. Our C3 Accelerator, which focuses on clean tech, climate tech, and circular economy, is more of a growth stage accelerator. So we're looking for companies that have already, kind of have an established revenue stream. They have customers, right? They've developed products for. But we're really unique in the fact that we also work with established small businesses. So businesses that have been in operation, been selling products, but they want to spin out a new product, right? So it really all depends. We do have corporate partners that are some of the big boys, but I wouldn't say that we're working directly with them to, support their business in terms of their business as we are with our startups, right? It's more, hey, we've got some of these really cool, innovative companies, and we think, integrating them into your operations, would be a good fit.
So what services does Centropolis supply to these various small businesses?
Yeah, so where we really thrive, so design and engineering. We have a team of in-house designers and engineers that focuses strictly on mechanical or industrial, and we're looking to add electrical right now, actually. And anything that we don't have in-house, we have signed agreements with that are able to provide their services at a discounted rate. What really makes Centropolis go is the 35 plus experts in residence is what we call them. And these are people that have 2 to 3 decades of experience in various fields and have made just about every mistake known to man. And what we do, we deploy those experts in residence to help those companies to avoid making the same mistakes that those individuals once made.
And is there a cost for this service?
No. So when you work with Centrepolis Accelerator, when we bring you on as a client, there is no cost associated. Let's say you're looking to prototype a product, right? You'll have to pay a reduced cost for the labor that's being spent on it, the time, the materials that's being spent on it, and the resources in terms of like our 3D printers and other machine work that we have in-house. So it's a very small, very minimal reduced cost compared to what you'll get in the open market.
But it's a use cost that is for the products and services you use, as opposed to an admission fee to come into the accelerator and get the information.
Correct. Yes. So we also do offer membership options. So you can pay dollar figure every single month to have office space in our facility or to have co-working space. So there you can, pay to use admission for a fee, but typically, most people like to come in and we work with them as a client from that point on, and we only charge them a small fraction. And how we're able to do it is because we're state and federally funded, as well as family office and foundation funded. So that's how we're able to our services at a significantly reduced rate, and the quality is the exact same that you would find anywhere else. So.
You anticipated my next question of how it was all paid for. So there is federal funding involved.
Yes, sir. Yep. From the Department of Energy, also from a few other programs that we're actively involved in right now with other organizations throughout the Midwest. And then we have William Davidson Foundation. We have Junior Foundation as well. So Lawrence Tech, City of Southfield, the New Economy Initiative. The list goes on and on.
So if a company comes to you, they have an idea for a new product in the realm that you're interested in, how long are they with you? Is there a time limit on how long they can use your services?
Yeah, it's a great question. So if anyone is familiar with accelerators and specifically cohorts, you typically see programs work with companies for 3 to 6 months, right? It's not a very long duration of time. We're very, very unique. We don't like to use the word cohorts. We don't like cohorts. Typically what we'll do is we'll work with companies for as long as they need support. So I have been at Centropolis now for 2 years. I interned in 2019. We're still supporting a handful of companies that I was first working on when I interned, 3 years. Supporting some of those companies because they still need support in some areas. And if we are able to provide that support, then we're going to do it.
Do I assume, though, that you have to see some progress in what they're doing?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There has to be growth. Absolutely. There's so many people that, kind of get, stuck in the mud, right. And kind of can't move forward. And in those aspects, it's sometimes difficult, right. You help everybody when you're working in an accelerator program. So you have to be very selective and smart with who you work with. And it ultimately comes down to one, the management team and the technical team in place, right. How much faith and trust you have in them to keep the business moving forward. Two, the technology, right? If the technology is truly viable and there's a need and a market for it, it really again comes back to the management team to get it done, right, and to keep them moving. And what we always tell clients is when we come on and we come to support them, is us is an extension of your team, right? Anything that you think that we can help you support with, we talk about it. We have our biweekly meetings with clients and we talk about these things, and we kind of have a, rundown of, okay, Centropolis is going to do this. We're going to help with some business strategy. We're going to help them fundraise, right? So we really just try to nail that into their heads that we are an extension of their team.
And where can someone find out more information about Centropolis?
So you can go to our website at CentropolisAccelerator.com. And there is a program tab in there that you can go ahead and you can look through the list of all of our programs, some of our events. We have our C3 Summit coming up this Thursday, August 25th at the Mint, located in Lathrop Village. That's going to be all focused on leaders in industry and clean tech, climate tech, and circular economy. Several great conversations are going to be happening. 10 companies are going to be pitching their businesses for $75,000. And well, like I said, it's going to be a great event. We have 35 plus exhibiting companies as well that are going to be featured at the event. So it's going to be a great hybrid event. If you can't make it in person, feel free to go to our website, CentropolisAccelerator.com/events. And you'll see our C3 Summit. Feel free to register, and there'll be a Zoom link as well for people that can't attend in person.
They're selling their ideas for $75,000. This is a little like Shark Tank.
Yeah, so in some aspects it could be. It's a big old pitch competition, and it comes right at perfect timing with the Inflation Reduction Act and the infrastructure. So we'll be having several conversations on those bills that just passed and Michigan's Healthy Climate Plan as well. So for anyone that's interested in learning and hearing more about what the state of Michigan's doing, and then specifically what the country's doing at the federal level, I highly recommend you tune in. So again, CentropolisAccelerator.com/events. And you'll see the C3 Summit. Just go ahead and register.
All right. Very good. Well, Riley, listen, thanks for spending a little time with us this morning. We appreciate it. Good luck in the future.
Thank you for having me on.
You bet.
Thank you. You guys
Bye-bye
well.
now. Yep.
You're great.
Thanks. Bye-bye now. Riley Lenhard, and he is the man that deals with the marketing and the programming for Centrepolis Accelerator at Lawrence Tech University. And we will take a break and come back with open phones for the remainder of the hour. We'll also hear from Terry Henney.
Chances are you're jamming in your car right now. And since Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Safe car dance moves. Hit it. Everybody, check your blind spots real quick. Now hands on the wheel. Put them 10 and 2 and move your head like a bird do. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I'm Rocky Moselle with StarRegistry.com. Since we were children, we've been told to reach for the stars. It was great advice. Now it's a great gift. Name a star after someone. For $54 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit StarRegistry.com, we will name a star after someone very special to you and send an incredible personalized gift. The new star name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com for the hottest gift.
How do you make the most of your land? If you ask the Wrens, who run with us on a John Deere mower, they'd tell you,
I mow first, then I do all the trimming.
but the Hubbards, who work behind the wheel of the John Deere compact tractor, would say, if it's something you want, just go after it and try it. Then there's the Mosers, who they mention from the seat of their John Deere Gator UTV. Give me all work in my plate. There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. Learn how to make the most of yours at Deere.com. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened flat after the recent sell-off. Macy's is lowering its outlook. It has too much unsold inventory and it will be marking things down. It's seeing shoppers pull back because of higher prices. However, its sales decline was not as steep as Wall Street was expecting, and its revenue and earnings held up stronger than forecast. Macy's shares opened higher. People are still eating at Denny's. Wedbush analysts say the casual restaurant chain expects to top predictions for the rest of this year and next. Aerie Pharmaceutical shares opened up more than 35 by Alcon buying the eye care business. And Twitter's former head of security is accusing the company of hiding negligent security practices and lying about bots and safety. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosolda, invested in you.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, beat the largest timeshare company in federal court and has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Information guide absolutely free. Call 800-393-1881. That's 800-393-1881.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Uma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Uma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Uma?
Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Uma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Uma. Smart community.
Beautiful morning to be outside, and we're at the Saginaw Valley Research and Extension Center. It's the Bean and Beet Diagnostic Day going on at the research farm. Started at 9 o'clock this morning. It'll be going until about 3:30 this afternoon. Registrations were required for this particular event. Started with 8:30, coffee and donuts, and lunch will be provided at noon. And then later this afternoon, they're going to have an ice cream social. So there's lots of incentive to be here pretty much all day. Dry beans and sugar beets are very important crops to many farmers throughout the Thumb and the Sag. This diagnostic training day is something that they've never done before. Newer industry members or current pest and management concerns are also being addressed here at the diagnostic meeting. Again, it's all a part of the Saginaw Valley Research and Extension Center's Dry Bean and Beet Diagnostic Day, going until about 3:30 this afternoon at the Research Center between Richville and Frankenmuth. Our broadcast brought to you today by the folks at American Crystal Hybrids.
Ground ball up the middle and into center field, not the better Victor Reyes. Candelario being waved around third, and he will score. Tigers is 2 out, single here in the 5th.
The Tigers play 6:50 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you. We've got open phones for the remainder of the hour. You're on the Art Lewis Show, so you can give us a call, 989-752-6111. Toll free is 866-790-WSGW. That'll put you in touch with us. Love to chat with you. I want to, normally I don't read press releases to you, but I'm going to read at least part of this one because I found this interesting. A lot of times I get a lot of email from the Attorney General of the state of Michigan, all the press releases and everything they put out. And a lot of times the Attorney General, Dana Nessel, joins forces with other blue state attorney generals for issues that they're concerned with, but rarely are they bipartisan. She joins with the other Democratic attorney generals for issues that they want to have in the forefront. This time, though, it's different. This is an issue which we will all appreciate, and she is joined with approximately 40 plus attorney generals from 40 plus states in the District of Columbia. And I will read you part of this so I get it right. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel joined a coalition of attorneys general calling on the Federal Trade Commission to increase obligations on telemarketers by requiring them to keep additional records about their activities so that law enforcement can hold them accountable when they break the law. Quote, requiring telemarketers to keep accurate records of their activities. The only way we can ensure that they are abiding by the telemarketing sales rules known as the TSR, Nessel said. Continuing the quote, consumers must be protected from abusive telemarketing practices, including illegal robocalls, and those records can be evidence needed to hold bad actors accountable for breaking the law. I'm going to stop there because here's the pros and cons as I see it. The pros, if telemarketers find this request and keep a copy of each unique pre-recorded message, call detail records of telemarketing campaigns, records that prove a seller has established business relationships with the consumer, records that prove a consumer is a previous donor to a particular charitable organization, records of the service providers that a telemarketer uses to deliver outbound calls, records of a seller or charitable organization's entity-specific do-not-call registries, and records of the FTC's do-not-call registry that was used to ensure compliance with the telemarketing sales rules. Now, for those actors that do that, hats off to them. But let's be honest. Some telemarketer in India who makes all these robocalls all the time, who don't care about the do not call list, you think they're going to keep those records? You think they're going to play that game? I doubt it. I think it's a great effort. It's a subject that needs to be addressed. We need to talk about these robocalls and how to control them and how to stop them. But I'm not betting the bad actors are going to raise their hand and say, oh, yes, I'll follow all the rules. They don't follow them now. It'll be interesting to find out. Keep an eye on it. But more power to the Attorney General and the 40 some odd Attorney Generals that are looking to fix it. Mark is in Bay City. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Art. I had two topics I wanted to cover. One, you had Dan Kildee on, and it was talking about fertilizer for a second. And I'm ignorant in the application and how it's to be used on the farmer's field, but don't they do soil samples and bring it to whoever they're purchasing it to see what fertilizer they need?
Well, they do.
If they do.
Yeah, they do a lot
Wouldn't
of.
it be put?
Farmers do a lot of soil sampling to know that their land is suitable for what they want to grow and what they have to nourish it with to make those things grow. Yes.
Right. So with the potential of over fertilizing, isn't there a log or something digital that's kept as far as the soil sample and that over purchasing or over application was not done?
It's possible, but here's the thing. I'm certainly not a farmer. I've never been in agriculture a day in my life, but they're humans. And just like us humans who buy a product, read the label and disregard it, and we use more because we think more is better, I imagine there are some farmers that believe that their fields need to be fertilized to a greater degree than others. They're humans. How many times have we gone to a store and it says use a teaspoon, so you use two because you think two is better than one? We're human beings. That's a natural reaction.
Sure. The other topic I wanted to touch on was Maxine Waters is supposed to introduce legislation to abolish the currency and just go digital. What are your thoughts on that? And my concern is if you did away with paper dollar. What's saying that if you have another pandemic that they say, well, in order for you to go about your business, we're going to lock your account down until you get this shot.
Well, here's my thoughts on it.
biggest concern.
First of all, it's dead in the water. It'll never happen. Secondly, if it comes from the mouth of Maxine Waters, I have no interest.
No.
But it's dead in the water. It's not going to go anywhere.
All right. Sounds good then.
Good enough, Mark. Okay, thanks. Appreciate it.
All right.
And let's talk to Errol in Saginaw. Errol, good morning. Errol, are you there?
Day, yeah, I'm here.
Good.
Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. Okay. I can only solve one problem a day. Yesterday was the water problem out west.
What are you going to solve today?
This thing with student loans.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
Well, I've thought this way for a long, long time because I know a couple of professionals that haven't paid their. Anyways, I don't think the universities are doing the damn job that they're getting their money for. When I look at what they're paying sports coaches, and then I look at what everyone that's going to school has these large student loans that are not because they don't have to pay any money. If the kids, they could care less whether those kids.
Yeah, but here's the thing now, Errol. I'm gonna pretend that I'm a college administrator, even though I know nothing about it. But what the heck? Might as well pretend anyway. You tell me that, and I tell you, well, yeah, but those sports coaches, they have a return on investment. We make a lot of money on sports, so we can afford to pay them because they make us a lot of money. So that's the difference in the fact that they can look at the sports costs as a return on investment. Whereas the student with the college loan, there's no return on investment for the university other than the fact they get paid for the student. But it's a lot different. You understand that. I know you understand that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, not being a sport except curling.
Those coaches don't make as much.
No, you think? We send our kids to college. Not for sports. We send them to fill up the empty space between their ears.
Exactly.
And the colleges, if they were doing their job, they would look at students from the first week that they're in school, first year, and 3 months they need to review what this student is doing in class. Is he spending his student loan money going out to eat? Or is he buckling down and studying?
Well, they do that.
After a few,
they do that.
I know. And a few months, if a few months of this goes along, and they're not meeting the criteria, they ought to be gone from the school.
Well, most of them are. I mean, if you don't get the grades, if you flunk out of classes, you do all of that, you're not going to be there long. Now understand that there's divisions here. There's the person that does nothing. They just take the money and go eat out. You're right. And they get no grades at all. They're done. They're out of there. Then there's the student that floats along and gets a C minus grade, but they're still passing. And they're going to be there. The problem with them is when they graduate college and have gotten that expensive education, they may not be smart enough to use it.
Rather than the taxpayers picking up the tab for this, how about if we take it out of the university endowment funds because they let this kid monkey around the school for 4 years and have $100,000 student loan?
Well,
they have to pick up the tab out of the endowment money.
It would be hard to prove. It'd be hard to prove if the kid graduates that it's hard to prove the university's at fault if he doesn't get a job. However, let's take that a step further. Let's look at it differently. A university with a multi-billion-dollar endowment fund should be able to offer a lot more scholarships and a lot more grants than if you're a smaller university that doesn't have that kind of pocketbook. I would agree with that.
You think?
Yeah, I think.
But they don't.
Hey, Errol,
they don't. What?
I got to take a break. I'm late.
Okay, go take a break, sir.
I'll talk more about it later. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Okay.
All right, we will be back with more.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle. and feeling that hot summer magic. It's the Hot Summer Nights $71,000 giveaway every Friday in August. Drawings are each week from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. for up to $1,800 in premium play. Then on August 26th, one winner each hour will take home $10,000 cash. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Is your prostate secretly being destroyed without you knowing it? All the ads for these prostate pills like Super Beta Prostate, Saw Palmetto, ProstaStream, Prostagenics, and others. Want to know which pills work and which are garbage? Now you can. Get a free copy of the new guide, Prostate Secrets, that pulls back the curtain on the prostate pill industry. Learn what is really in these pills. Which pill has over 987 adverse event reports filed against it with the FDA? It's shocking. Learn the one prostate killer and discover the 3 so-called health foods that destroy your prostate. Get your free copy at prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com. This free guide will show you how to end your prostate problems without drugs or surgery. 5 important things to do to protect your prostate and much more. Warning, this guide is controversial and may be offensive to some readers as it pulls no punches. So go to prostatesecrets.com. Prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible sale prices from General Steel. That's right. Start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 877-25-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. 5 Steel.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 877-25-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building fast and easy. Call 877-25-STEEL. That's 877-257-8335. 877-25-STEEL.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show, a majority of economists now say, yep, we're in a recession. Just buy an electric car. There you go.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW. This is the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios of WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show. Lines open for you. I want to take just a second here. There was an FBI raid, not Mar-a-Lago, on an Amish farm in Pennsylvania. Ostensibly because this particular Amish farmer was not following, at least from what I read, health and safety practices, and food was being sold. So here are my thoughts on this. And it's something that's in a way close to my heart. I'm not Amish. I'm Jewish, farthest thing away from Amish in a way. My wife is Pennsylvania Dutch from the Amish country in Pennsylvania, and I know Amish. I know them. Here's my feeling. First, I have great respect for the Amish community who choose to live the lifestyle they choose to live, and they do it for religious reasons. More power to them. If that's the way they choose to live, and nobody's twisting their arm to do it, then I say fine. Some of the nicest people you could ever meet. But your religion and your lifestyle don't exempt you from following laws made to protect all of us. So if you are producing food products, for example, to be sold in the marketplace, you're not exempt from following good safety and hygiene practices. And ostensibly, that's what this raid was about. Amish have been raided before. The ATF have raided an Amish farm and took away a whole bunch of guns that they had. The U.S. Marshals have raided them, although I don't know why. I guess they were looking for somebody. So it's not unheard of that the Amish have been raided by federal authorities. But this particular one was because this farmer apparently was not following health codes and product was being offered for sale. If you make it for yourself, you grow it for yourself, you raise the cattle for yourself, well, fine. But the minute you cross that line and sell it to somebody, now you've become a commercial producer. And that doesn't depend on your religion, your ethnicity, your lifestyle, or anything else. Law's the law. So, some people are up in arms condemning the raid on the Amish, and I want to see more about it. I want to learn more about it. Was this Amish farmer indeed shirking the law and not following good health food practice and providing his food to others? I want to see more detail before I come out and say, it never should have happened. I don't know that. Anyhow, something to keep an eye on anyway. I'm sure there'll be more stories on it. And we will be back. Our lines are open for you at 989-752-6111. Toll free 866-790 WSGW.
Branham's Jewelry presents an exclusive Levian event. One day only at each Branham's location. West Branch, August 24th. East Tawas, August 25th. Explore stunning jewelry from the artisans of Levian. Schedule and attend an appointment for this event and receive a free goodie bag. You can also take advantage of up to 36 months of 0% financing with approved credit. One day only at each location. West Branch, August 24th. East Tawas, August 25th. Visit Branham's online at michigansjeweler.com.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I get those letters from IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life.
And the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real. And I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, There are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Anyone that's lived in the Great Lakes Bay region for any length of time knows how important agriculture is to our region when it comes to economics and also jobs. Well, the dry bean industry and the sugar bean industry are being showcased today at the Extension Center for the Bean and Beet Diagnostic Day. Started at 9 o'clock this morning. We'll be going until about 3:30 this afternoon. We're going to be talking about a variety of issues. The MSU Extension specialists and representatives of the MSU Plant and Pest Diagnostic Services, along with the Michigan Bean Commission and Michigan Sugar, are leading participants on a hands-on training and interactive demonstration related to taking care of those particular crops so you have and farmers have a profitable harvest and plenty to eat this fall. What are we looking at right today? And an absolutely gorgeous day. Our broadcast brought to you today by the folks at American Crystal Hybrids. They invite you to come on out and take a look at the research facility and see everything that's growing out here. More reports next hour.
Your home for Michigan Wolverines football is WSGW. The defending Big Ten champions are ready to prove that last year was not a fluke.
He's going to go down the sideline. Blake Corum. Touchdown, Michigan. Donovan Edwards on the wheel route at the midfield stripe. At the 5. Touchdown, Michigan. He's in the end zone. Pick 6. DJ
Off against the Colorado State Rams at the Big House on Saturday, September 3rd. Game day coverage at 11 a.m. with kickoff at noon on 790 News Radio WSGW. The history.
2-1. Listen to 106,000 fans.
The tradition.
Haskins scores his 5th of the day.
The memories.
And he fires toward the end zone. Touchdown! Mario Manningham, and Michigan will win.
Michigan football is on WSGW.
All right, we're back here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show, and open phones right up till 11:30. By the way, no guest on Focus today, so we're going to carry the open phone theme right through next hour. President Trump has finally sued, he said he would, and he did, to block the Department of Justice from reviewing materials the FBI seized at Mar-a-Lago until a special watchdog is appointed to review the documents seized from his Florida home by the FBI as part of a criminal investigation of records removed from the White House. Trump's lawsuit also asks the judge to block the DOJ from further review of seized materials from his Mar-a-Lago residence until the so-called special master is appointed to review the documents. The suit was filed in U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Florida. And the reason is that the former president has suggested that the August 8th FBI raid was politically motivated, and he asked that the Department of Justice be blocked from further review of seized materials from his Mar-a-Lago residence until the so-called special master is appointed to review the documents. Now, generally, special masters are appointed in criminal cases when there's a concern that some material seized by authorities should not be viewed by investigators because it's protected by attorney-client privilege or other factors that may weigh against it being used in prosecution. And that's basically what the president wants that special master to do, is go through all the documents and make sure none of them qualify for those exemptions. It's going to be interesting to see if this judge grants this special request or if it ends up going to a higher court, an appeals court. He's already kind of waffled on releasing the affidavit that led to the warrant. Originally, at the hearing, he said to the DOJ, you have until Thursday of this week to redact the information you feel should be redacted, and then I will review it, and I will release certain parts of the document. He's now waffled on that a little bit. So we're not so sure he's going to release anything. Time will tell. Time will tell. But the president said he was going to, have his people file the suit, and he did. Looking for that special master. Will it help him? I don't know. I don't know what's in the documents. I haven't read them. I don't know what's in them. I only know what I've seen in the media. And, trials aren't done in the media. Sometimes they're tried that way and people think they are, but they're not done in the media. I don't know what the devil is in the details, so to speak. And then there's another question of declassification. Did he have the right to declassify these documents before he left the White House? And if so, did he have a right to keep them? There's a lot of questions here. There are a lot of questions here that need to be answered. I think the public deserves to have answers. But I want to make sure those answers are given in a legal way, not a political way. So for all we've heard of the politicians screaming from the rafters on both sides. I'm not so sure a special master wouldn't be in order to calm down the rhetoric and allow a neutral to review the documents. Now, where do you find that neutral? Well, that's up to the court. That's up to the court. But it might answer a lot of questions. It might just resolve the issues of whether or not these documents should have been released or not released. Time will tell. Let me ask you how your sleep was last night. Today we're asked to do a lot more for less. So when you go to bed and you theoretically spend a third of your life there, you need quality sleep. You can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. Now, you can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured the mattress you're using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent and they stay right here in the local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress, and they feature a 1-hour delivery window of your mattress to your home, so you don't have to wait around all day. And by the way, if you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you, something the box stores can't do. Visit the Sanitary Mattress factory and showroom serving this area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com or call 989-753-1757. Sanitary Mattress.
Research shows listeners don't like it when ads interrupt their music. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes home insurance, we made this ad optional. If you want to skip this ad, remove your left earphone. Liberty Mutual customizes home insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
If you're missing this informative ad, you must love wasting your cash.
It's the easy and smart way to save.
Now it's all been set, so with that earphone in your head.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Moments like watching my grandson steal second mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative NBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
And now, bedtime.
If sleep apnea and CPAP struggles are ruining your sleep, Inspire may work for you. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to help you sleep peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Learn more at inspiresleep.com.
Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Trying to find when and where you can hear the top ball and basketball, Saginaw Spirit Hockey, and SVSU football on WSGW? Just click on the sports broadcast box on WSGW.com for complete game time listings. That's WSGW.com.
That'll do it for these first 2 hours of the Art Lewis Show. Focus is next, but we're going to continue open phones through the Focus half hour because there's no guest scheduled for today. So you can give us a call during Focus and chat about whatever's on your mind. Meantime, news coming up from CBS and then the local report. I'll be back right after that to talk to you after the news.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WS Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by General Steel.
I'm Steve Kathan. Torrential rain, dangerous flash flooding. It's caused death and destruction in Dallas.
Places in North Texas were swamped after historic rainfall. Up to a foot of rain fell in 24 hours, leading to widespread flooding and hundreds of water rescues. These women had to be rescued from their inundated home and car.
I thought it was going to calm down. The rain kept coming. Not even 5 minutes, just rushing into the house. So I started, help, please help, I was crying.
There's the threat of more flash flooding today in areas of Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
At least one death is blamed on the weather in North Texas, and at the Dallas-Fort Worth Airport, travel trouble.
Our flight was canceled yesterday. It was canceled this morning, and now we're back again.
One woman remains missing after flooding in Utah's Zion National Park. Forecasters say in spite of all the rain in the Southwest, it only puts a dent in the region's drought. Former President Trump wants a special master or third-party attorney to review the documents that were taken from his Florida home by the FBI. CBS's Robert
reports that since federal agents re-engaged with Trump's legal team this summer and then searched his home, that number has climbed, with more than 300 documents with classified markings obtained by the Justice Department.
It's primary voting day today in Florida and New York, as we hear from CBS's Scott McFarland.
After a messy and lengthy fight over redistricting here in New York, the parties choose their nominees for Congress, including in New York City, where two powerful veteran U.S. House Democrats, Judiciary Chair Jerry Nadler and Oversight Chair Carolyn Maloney, must run against each other. In Florida, Democrats choose their nominees to run against Governor Ron DeSantis and Senator Marco Rubio.
In northern Michigan, virus has killed dozens of dogs over the past month. It's similar to a known virus that causes gastrointestinal illness, mostly in puppies. But state veterinarian Nora Wineland says it's believed to be a different and more easily spread strain.
If there's a problem and the strain is not going to be covered by the vaccine, then looking at the virus's genetics will help us understand that, and then an update to the vaccine would, of course, be needed.
Washington Post reports a former head of security at Twitter has filed whistleblower complaints with federal officials, alleging that the company misled regulators about its cybersecurity problems with fake accounts. Wall Street right now, another down day. The Dow is off 164 points. The Nasdaq's down 13. The S&P is off 9. This is CBS News.
If you're a business owner renting or leasing, you can save a ton of money and own a custom-designed building made by General Steel. Just call 877-25-STEEL and get a quote today.
Coming to Dow Diamond Saturday night.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shooter McGavin.
Sports film's most beloved villain from Happy Gilmore.
I worked hard my whole life, paid my dues, and now it's Shooter's turn.
Available for selfies and autographs during the game. Following the game, we'll light up the night with a fireworks loontacular. How?
Although, pal, I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
Tickets are selling fast at loons.com.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
No. Shooter McGavin night this Saturday.
Damn you people, this is golf!
Dive in! It's Loons baseball time! And now, bedtime.
If sleep apnea and CPAP struggles are ruining your sleep, Inspire may work for you. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to help you sleep peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Learn more at inspiresleep.com.
Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris.
In French. There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Sunny skies, 3 degrees at 11:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Perchek. Crime Stoppers is offering a reward of up to $2,500 for information leading to the arrest of a suspect in an unsolved homicide that happened October 10th last year in Kochville Township. Saginaw County Sheriff's deputies responded to the area of Trotner Road and Cardinal Square Boulevard in the early hours that morning for reports of shots fired. They found evidence of a shooting, but no one in the area. Victims of the shooting showed up at a local hospital a short time later. One was a 20-year-old man who was pronounced dead. Several suspects were identified and arrested in the case, but 17-year-old Corian Deschamps found. A warrant for his arrest was issued. Please call Crime Stoppers if you have any information on Welch's whereabouts. Anonymous tips can be called into 1-800-422-JAIL. Saginaw residents will have an opportunity to shop local at the 2022 Small Business Expo this Thursday. The Saginaw Economic Development Corporation is hosting the event, which features 50 small business vendors and local food trucks. Organizers say the expo serves as an opportunity for the public to learn about and support local entrepreneurs in a variety of fields. The Small Business Expo is open the 25th from 4 Plaza. The Frankenmuth Area Arts Council is hosting its 4th annual Fire Arts Festival this September. The event is free and includes displays of blacksmithing, chainsaw carving, glass blowing, fire performances, and more. The event will take place at 7 p.m. on Saturday, the September 23rd. New additions to the festival include a pig roast, flaming drinks, and a hot wing eating competition. The event will be hosted at the Frankenmuth Farmers Market from 11 to 9 p.m. and then 8 to 11 on September 24th. WSGW News Time, 11:07.
When your insurance agent sat down with you to review the coverage checklist for your farm, so you wouldn't have to worry about uncovered areas, you have reviewed your coverages lately, right? If not, maybe your agency should be the Emil Rummel Agency. At the Emil Rummel Agency, it's our job to understand the various risks you face every day on your farm, and then provide you with the right insurance policy that is based on your needs. If your current insurance agent is not offering this kind of service, it's time you talked with the Emil Rummel Agency, because we listen, and then we respond to what we. The Emil Rummel Agency is located in Frankenmuth, Vassar, Cairo, and in Saginaw. Call us today at 800-572-0939. That's 800-572-0939. Or visit us on the web at rummelinsurance.com.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. Plans are on track to replace a 48-foot piece of water pipeline that ruptured more than a week ago near Port Huron. The Great Lakes Water Authority says the broken and 10-foot wide pipe was removed from a hole by crane Sunday. A new piece of pipe is scheduled to arrive over the weekend. Authority leaders lifted the boil water advisory that affected more than 130,000 residents in Macomb, Oakland, Lapeer, and St. Clair counties. The cause of the break has yet to be determined. Local public health leaders are launching a statewide review of the COVID-19 pandemic and the impact of public health enforcement orders and vaccine distributions. Here's Michigan News Network's John Hewitt.
The Michigan Association for Local Public Health has begun a comprehensive statewide review of the pandemic. Norm Hess is the group's executive director.
Certainly, it is not our intention or desire to point blame, but really to find out what elements of the environment contributed to success, which ones could have been stronger. Are we ready for another major event?
Scott DeZerka with Public Sector Consultants of Lansing, a nonpartisan third-party research firm, will lead the review.
This pandemic is going to be studied for years, and there's an awful lot to learn.
The results of the statewide study are expected sometime after the new year.
$1 million drug bust near the Blue Water Bridge in Portland. The St. Clair County Sheriff's Department says members of the Drug Task Force plus the Homeland Security team worked together last week to confiscate 348 pounds of marijuana and 24 pounds of ecstasy that was being loaded from a semi-truck that just crossed the border into a van. Investigators say the drugs had a street value of about $1 million. 2 suspects, including a 27-year-old Detroit man, were arrested. As part of the investigation, authorities searched a home in Detroit and seized other evidence, including $36,000 in cash, a gun, and ammunition. WSGW News Time, 11:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. Mostly sunny skies here for today with winds out of the northwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy sky conditions, a low near 61. Wednesday, sunshine, high of 87 degrees. Then by Thursday, a chance for showers and thunderstorms here late. Partial sunshine develops, a high around 84. Friday, mostly sunny skies, high of 79 degrees. Then by Saturday, plenty of blue skies and sunshine and a high of 82. Sunday, partial sunshine develops, a high of 88 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 69.
Now, it's time as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Focus. Focus brought to you by RoofMax, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out more about RoofMax online at getroofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. That's RoofMax with 2 X's. We have to belay what I said before the hour about open phones because apparently we have a guest this hour from a company called Bedding Superstore, and it's Sandy. Sandy, good morning.
Actually, my name is not Sandy. My name is Chantella, but good morning.
Oh, good morning. What's your name, Chantella?
It's Chantel.
Chantel. Yep. All right. Well, I don't know why it says Sandy, but Chantel it is. You know your name better than I do. That's for sure. So Chantel,
yeah, we're actually called Big Sandy Superstore. Big Sandy Bedding Superstore is what we're called. So
where are you located?
We are located on Eastman in Midland.
Aha! So you are a local company, and again, then I have everything I have on my screen is all wrong. Then, so we'll start from the beginning. The name of the store again is
Big Sandy Bedding Superstore.
Big Sandy Bedding Superstore. So tell us a little bit about it. The name implies something, but is my vision correct of what I'm going to find when I get there? Tell us about it.
Well, I promise you that you will not see anybody that is big or named Sandy when you come here. The main thing, Sandy, is actually named after a river in Kentucky, and that is where our original founders used.
No kidding.
So they kind of named the store after that river. Yeah.
How long has the store been there?
We have been here since October of 2020. But the Big Sandy store has been around for 56 years.
And
they're more known in the South, so not so much here in Michigan, but mostly in like Kentucky, Tennessee area.
so let's talk about the product selection. What am I going to find when I go into Big Sandy's Bedding Superstore?
You are going to find the top brands that are available right now in mattresses. We have Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, Sealy, we have Purple, and we have Nectar. So even some of the greater online bedding.
So is there more than just mattresses when I go in?
Well, we sell you sleep. So we're going to give you everything to help you sleep better. So we have adjustable power bases. We also have some really nice pillows. But as far as furniture, we do not have that. That would be at our other location.
Do you have bedding furniture, though? By that, I mean headboards, for example, things of that nature.
Nope, unfortunately, we do not. We are we're the mattress experts. We're the sleep gurus here. So
can you get them from your other stores?
Absolutely.
And
we do private appointments here. Since we are just mattresses, we actually take our guests and we schedule an appointment, and whichever sales professional is assigned to them, we actually meet them over at our store in Mount Pleasant, and we shop the furniture aisle.
Oh, okay, for furniture. All right, so there is another Big Sandy's in Mount Pleasant. Is that right then?
That is correct.
And that one has furniture?
Yep.
So mattresses.
Yep, we actually have 6.
Go ahead.
Sorry about that. We have 6 Big Sandy's in Michigan. So.
Oh, all right. All right.
Yeah. So.
But if I think Midland, if I think Midland, I think mattress.
Yes, absolutely.
Now you mentioned it's by appointment only. Is that right?
No, that is just
for the furniture
if
side.
Somebody comes in and if they come in and they buy a mattress and they're interested in a headboard or
okay, gotcha.
We actually go with them over to Mount Pleasant.
All right.
That way they can still kind of keep the business local and work with someone that they already trust. So.
Very, very good. All right, hang on, Sandy. I got to take a break and we'll come back. Sandy, see, I'm looking at the name. Chantel, hang on. And I will be back with more. We'll also hear from Terry Henney when we come back after this.
Hi, I'm Tom Kreitler, host of the Money Pit Home Improvement Show. If you think you need a new roof, think again. You can avoid replacement and save thousands with RoofMax, the world's first roof rejuvenation treatment. RoofMax is a safe alternative to costly asphalt roof replacement, and it's guaranteed. So don't replace RoofMax.
RoofMax, a safe, easy, proven, affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Call Ben today at 859-6751 or go to GetRoofMax.com for a free quote.
I know Michiganders are seeing rising prices at the gas pump, pharmacy counter, and the grocery store. This is Dan Kildee, and my top priority is fighting inflation. I've introduced legislation to suspend the federal gas tax, cap the cost of insulin, and lower prices at the grocery store by improving supply chains. I'll keep working with Democrats and Republicans in Congress to lower costs for you.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Coming soon in the Great Lakes Bay region, the Alzheimer's Association annual Walk to End Alzheimer's events will be taking place. These walks are the world's largest fundraisers for Alzheimer's care, support, and research. You can join the fight against Alzheimer's on September 10th, in Bay City on October 1st, and Midland on October 8th. You can find Walk to End Alzheimer's information on the WSGW.com homepage by scrolling down and clicking on the Walk to End Alzheimer's box.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
WSW online poll is about the new political party. Former Democratic and Republican Party members who plan to form this new party called Forward, initially co-led by former Democratic presidential candidate Andrew Yang and Christine Todd Whitman, the former Republican governor of New Jersey. The Forward Party says it's going to aim to appeal to millions of voters who say they are dismayed with what they see as America's dysfunctional two-party system. The party describes itself as centrist, stating that it's not left, it's not right, it's forward.
The Forward Party is about that common sense consensus majority view.
So our poll question to you is this. What's your early reaction to the formation of a new political party? Would you say this, that you identify as Republican, but you might support Forward? You identify as Democrat, you might support Forward. Maybe you don't identify either Republican or Democrat, but you still might. Don't think you're going to support Forward at all. Head to WSW.com, scroll down the homepage, find the poll box, and make your vote that way. We'll find out if Forward will be able to move forward.
The Morning Team, weekdays 5:30 till 9 on WSGW.
This morning, we've been telling you all about the Bean and Beat Diagnostic Day that's going on today at the Saginaw Valley Research and Extension Center over in the Richville-Frankenmuth area. It's been a very busy morning, and it's been an absolutely beautiful day. Started off with a little bit of fog, but now there isn't a cloud in the sky and hardly a breeze at all. Just gorgeous. They've been Day that's going on today at the Saginaw Valley Research and Extension Center over in the Richville-Frankenmuth area. It's been a very busy morning, and it's been an absolutely beautiful day. Started off with a little bit of fog, but now there isn't a cloud in the sky and hardly a breeze at all. Just gorgeous. They've been talking about the insects, herbicide injury, nutrient and fertility concerns. That's been a part of the morning program so far. Everything is going to be wrapped morning session anyway at about 11:30. So when we start the farm program, a lot of the folks will be coming in to grab a bite to eat. And then the afternoon session kicks off with identifying weeds when you're in a hurry, as well as spot the spot and root out the rot, which is something that has a lot of concern for farmers out here when it comes to disease control. And then they will be talking about dry bean diseases. The Michigan Bean Commission and Michigan Sugar Company putting this event on along with experts from Michigan State University, proving to be a very significant Bean and Beat Diagnostic Day this year, and farmers have well attended this event. We'll be telling you a lot more about it during the farm program coming up in just a little bit.
You have the chance to win $1,000 and $1,000 for your favorite school or charity. It's the WSGW Back to School Contest. To play, simply visit WSGW.com and click on the Back to School Contest box. You can enter up to once per day with bonus entry opportunities too. Deadline to enter is August 31st. Winner determined by random drawing. $1,000 for you and $1,000 for your favorite school contest at WSGW.com.
From the Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios, you are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
And we are back with you, talking to Chantel from Big Sandy's Bedding Superstore in Midland. And Chantel, let me ask, and you rattled off a litany of mattresses available. There are so many mattresses out there and so many different types. Is it a question of you get what you pay for? I'm going to pick numbers out of the air. Is $1,000 mattress better than a $400 mattress, for example?
Well, there's a process that we adhere to here. We have three different types of mattresses. So we have full foams, we have hybrids, we have inner springs. We kind of let the guest decide what feels right to them. So we kind of work with the different types, and then we work with price points. We have a diagnostic test, which actually gets 18 statistical measurements talking about like hip mass, shoulder mass. It actually even measures the flexibility of your lumbar curve. So what that does is it gives you a little bit of peace of mind to ensure the fact that you are purchasing the right mattress for your needs and your spouse's as well.
So it's more a matter of feel than price, if you will.
Correct.
But is there a difference? I mean, let's say I find the feel and then the comfortable mattress, but it's available, that I'm comfortable on several different mattresses. Do I gain buying a more expensive mattress? Does it come with, for example, a longer warranty? Can I expect the guts of the mattress to hold up longer than other mattresses, for example?
That is correct. I mean, there is a price on quality for sure. We do have mattresses for every budget though that are good mattresses, but yeah, your lower end mattresses, your warranty, to where your more expensive mattresses do have a 10-year.
And what kind of hours do you keep over there?
We are here right now. Our summer hours are 10 to 7, Monday through Friday. On Saturday, we are here 10 to 8, and Sunday, 1 to 6.
And is there a website?
There is. You can go to www.bigsandysuperstore.com. We also have a shop in stock button because I know that there are some huge national shortages right now.
Oh, yeah.
But there is an in stock shop button on there. So you can kind of browse that and pick what you want, furniture, bedding, bedroom furniture, whatever you need. And they'll show you what we have in stock available, ready for delivery.
How's the supply size shortage been? Have you been able to get product when you need it?
Yeah, we actually have quite a bit of stock. My store is overfilled right now.
You could use customers.
I definitely could. And even if we don't have it in stock, we typically have it in about 7 to 10 days.
And if someone wants to come over, what's the address?
We are located at 6715 Eastman Avenue in Midland. We are in between Panera and Olive Garden.
Well, that's not a bad place to work, is it?
No, definitely not.
Well, Chantel, listen, thanks for spending a little time with us this morning and telling us about Big Sandy's. And again, the website, tell us again.
www.bigsandysuperstore.com.
Very good. Have yourself a great day. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Art. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye now.
Thanks.
Chantel from Big Sandy Superstore, we thank her for being with us, and we'll be back to close out and move on to the farm show.
BRC Marketplace, located at 203 South Washington, right